maybe rewinding back a little bit on the summer solstice, just a little bit more like understanding is like, how many solar panels do you have when the plant's deciding to start making beans? Is what it really comes down to. Going back to planting early, like I know we talked about this last fall, but it goes to how many solar panels do you have?
Yeah.
The more solar panels, the more energy that crop's going to be able to convert.
That's all leaf is.
Yeah.
That's all leaf is. I mean, and Eric's are literally as big as Bean's face.
Yeah.
I think a good goal, one I try to shoot for, is 11 main stem nodes by the summer solstice, with the goal of ending up with 24 to 25, if Mother Nature allows it, by the time harvest comes.
Yep. Yep. Well, and also when you plant early, I feel like that plant feels like it can focus on its roots more. So it's producing more cytokinin to help with that root structure, and just goes back to the foundation. Your foundation's bigger, so when it gets to this time, when it's trying to pull nutrients, because it's, when you look at the influence of nutrient uptake, I mean, 2 weeks ago, that thing was trying to pull in as much nutrients as possible. Did you start off with a little root system, or a root system was already branched out by the time it was V2, V3? I mean, that's why earlier planted beans, easy bushels to gain.
Yeah,
Sure.
they're free bushels.
Yep.
They're truly free bushels. That's all we have to do is get out the door and get going.
Yep.
And see, we fight even almost the opposite for us. Is the early, we have a yield drag, it seems like, on early planted beans where I'm at, and that the later beans can end up being a better bean.
Yep.
But this year, what we're really trying to do is, hey, can we plant an earlier planted bean? An early bean for us is end of April, like after we finish corn.
Yep.
We're planting corn second week of May, or second week of April, trying to be done by the 25th of April. This year, I cleaned the planter out and put beans in, planted, and we're trying to hold a lot of, because I think we lose a lot. Rob talked about it. I think the beans finish too fast. We're trying to slow that dry down and the die down. We're trying to slow that, keep food to it late, and see, hey, can earlier planted beans, keep up with our later planted beans, third, fourth week of May. That's like our window right there for the best beans.
So at your latitude, you're still an indeterminate, or are you playing with some determinate beans?
Indeterminate.
Yeah.
Yep, all indeterminate.
I think it's just sunlight difference. I mean,
Okay.
you come up here, how much more sunlight do you have
Yep.
from
Right
June?
now.
I mean, well,
Yeah.
even summer solstice to the middle of August.
Yep.
I mean, it changes considerably from August 1 to August 30th here. Considerably how many minutes of sunlight per day you have or lose.
Right.
Same thing in my area. I'm not going to lie. I think the moment that you're starting to get to your neck of the woods and further south, that change of
Yes.
hours of sunlight doesn't change as much. So you could actually decrease your ethylene production at the end because it's cooler. I mean, soybeans are a C4 plant. It does not like temperatures in the 90s.
Right.
Can it live? Yes. Can it reproduce? Yes. Does it like it? No.
Right.
It likes that September cool.
Right, and
to
that's
pack
why,
on.
our beans they're going to flower, try to fill pods, and man, I mean, first, second week of September, they're dropping leaves, and if we plant early, and
So how much later can you go on varieties? I mean, so we're on a 2.7, 2.8, maybe up to a 3.0, and are somewhat on the ragged edge of, will we make it with a September 10 frost?
Yep.
Most, if it were to frost in 10 days from now, we wouldn't be there. I mean, we would take a significant yield
Yeah.
hit.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're a lot of my beans are 4.2 to 4.7s,
Okay.
and a lot of guys plant 4.9s the end of May,
Yeah.
and so what's our average frost date? October 15th to 20th.
And that's what actually we're hoping for up here this year too, is
Yep.
not to be delayed that far.
But if you look at the last 3 to 4 years, that's been easy.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost. I mean, I can
So
almost count on it.
I would be curious what early planted beans, and maybe going all the way to a determinant in your neck of the woods, that, you know, what you're planting, it sounds like to me, is somebody planting a 1.8 or a 1.9 in our geography.
Yeah.
You know, what happened if you would go a full point longer than what you are,
Yeah.
you know, to get into that October fill.
Sure. And I mean, man, I love planting some beans early just because it takes some of the workload off.
Yeah.
In our quote main window.
Yep.
But can we? My thing is, how much can we influence this crop? Not necessarily yield per se. Yield will be an after effect of instead of it's maturing, boom, this plant's dead. You
Yeah.
know, can we slow that down? Because I think that's where we lose that yield, where we see our drag, where guys like, oh, these didn't yield as good as the beans planted a month later. I think it's pure, majorly the ethylene.
Yeah.
Just that crop literally disappeared
Yeah.
out of the field.
Yeah.
But
That's an interesting thought, though, to extend it and have that plant. I mean, almost your goal is that plant still feels like it's in a vegetative state during your heat at the end of July, beginning of August.
yes,
I mean,
yeah.
yes, it's going to have pods, but it's
we
in a
don't want
sense-
our beans pod filling from July 20th to August 20th.
Yeah.
Like that's not good. And the guys that plant early, that always happens, and there's always a drag there.
Yep.
But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. Next topic. Anything else on high yielding beans?
For us, it's been early planting.
Okay.
And now what we're learning about introducing the carbon programs and the kelp programs.
We talked earlier. Beans are carbon starved. Beans love carbon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, because it makes so much nitrogen. I mean, the amount of nitrogen a soybean crop is producing, to get your carbon to nitrogen ratio closer, you got to have an overabundance of carbon for that plant to make the bacteria, fungus to fill at home. I mean, definitely fungus. I mean, bacteria, they can survive in that really narrow C to N ratio. And I think another thing, plant health wise, I've always seen this with higher yielding beans, is what is your nodules doing right now?
Yeah.
Are they done? Are they still cranking? Yours are still cranking.
And we put an inoculant on every year and rotate about every other year with types of inoculants. I mean, they're
Gotcha.
all a strain of rhizobia, but different companies are using different strains of that rhizobia. So we're constantly rotating that. But an inoculation, even in just a corn soybean rotation, is part of our program. It's $1.25 an acre, whatever. It's part of the program.
Yep.
What about seed treatments?
Seed fully treated.
Okay.
Insecticide, fungicide. One thing we battle with early planted soybeans is you're the first field up in the neighborhood,
Yep.
and if there are any bean leaf beetles around, even a full rate of insecticide on the seed, we've had to come back and spray V2 soybeans for bean leaf beetles because we have every beetle in the county in our fields.
Yeah. They say, hey, go to Eric's.
Yeah.
Well, we saw the exact same thing this year, or I guess my philosophy is because it was the first tassel pollinated corn in the area.
Okay.
Birds.
Really?
What?
Birds. Yep, blackbirds. Went to the ear, and I bet I go 300 yards into that field, and 20% to 25% of the ears, the top half of it's gone. It's almost like the ears showed up, and all the birds said, hey, head over there. That's where the food's at.
So you suppose they're going after rootworm beetles, or
No.
no? Okay.
No, I mean, they were just going for the kernels
Okay.
all the way down. And you can see it because it just tears that husk apart. And they just go so far, then move to the next one, go so far. If the ear was exposed before, so the ear grew outside the husk, it was even worse. Because
Okay.
they're like, oh, yeah, there's definitely food there.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't hiding. If everything was closed up and tight, it didn't bother it as much. But if that ear grew out, first time I saw it in my life.
I say I've
Like-
never seen it before.
Like when he said birds, I was like, okay, I need to go check this out. because I wasn't ready for it. So
Interesting.
yeah, I know you're dumbfounded right now,
It's
but
always something, man.
that happened.
It's always something.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
and I mean, at the end of the day, it's not going to make or break that farm, you know. But it's still like that's significant damage on 5-6 acres.
Yeah.
You know, almost as bad as deer or
Oh my
raccoons
gosh,
have
don't
been
get me started
terrible
on raccoons.
this year. Yeah, terrible. Somebody called me, corn's beautiful. My corn's falling over. I walked out there, I was like, you're not going to like my answer.
Raccoons.
Raccoons.
Wow.
High bricks must be.
Yeah, must be. That's why we've gone to 3 strands of hot wire around the sweet corn patch. Too low and one a little higher so that they can't jump over.
You know, and I understand why farmers protect their sweet corn patches, but there was one time they had a fencer, like a mile-long fencer around their sweet corn patch, and I accidentally touched it with my probe.
Oh.
Oops.
Hooked it into a 220 line.
Oh, it was.
Guys, if you've liked the information that you've seen so far, go ahead and check out the full-length podcast on our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe there. It's also on all the major podcast platforms. We're constantly dropping info and more content on all the social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Check it out for a lot more content.